The Millionaire Fastlane, Crack the Code to Wealth and Live Rich for a Lifetime. By M.J. DeMarco, author. Before we dive into the book, let's get to know its author. The author of this book, M.J. DeMarco, is a famous American entrepreneur, investor, and writer. He wasn't born into wealth. As a child, he was a wayward youth with little interest in anything. One day, he saw a young man driving a Lamborghini, and this young man was neither a sports star nor a celebrity. Suddenly, DeMarco had an epiphany: he wanted to be wealthy. So, DeMarco began studying various wealth-building books, researching their success stories, and trying different businesses, experiencing multiple failures along the way. On the eve of a snowstorm, he felt he had to change and couldn't go on like this. Some people are just geniuses, like M.J. DeMarco. He moved from Chicago to Phoenix, then to Arizona, and huddled in his small apartment to learn programming. He created a luxury car rental website. Just before the dot-com bubble burst in 2001, he sold the website for $1.2 million. You're mistaken if you think that's the end of the story. After the bubble burst, DeMarco repurchased the website for $250,000, worked on it for a few more years, and sold it for $12 million, finally achieving financial freedom. Now, isn't that impressive? The author wrote The Millionaire Fastlane to decode the secrets to financial freedom and uncover the keys to getting rich quickly. When I first saw the title of this book, I felt an overwhelming sense of excitement, imagining that by reading this book, I could soon get rich, marry a beautiful and wealthy woman, and reach the pinnacle of life. However, after reading the book, I realized it wasn't as complex as I had thought. This is indeed a book about getting rich quickly, but we need to understand 2 points. 1. Fast means within 5 to 10 years, not 1 to 2 years. 2. Fast does not mean easily. Most books about getting rich quickly lure people into the trap of easy wealth. As the book says, stop. If you're not rich now, stop what you're doing. It means that if you want to achieve what you desire, keep doing what you're doing. If not, stop immediately and change your current behaviors, beliefs, and habits, because they will not lead you to financial freedom. You need to switch to a new direction in pursuit of wealth and enter the Millionaire Fastlane. Most people follow one of 3 wealth paths. 1. Sidewalk. These people are akin to the paycheck-to-paycheck crowd. They live for the moment and often end up in poverty. 2. Slow lane. Most workers sacrifice the present to invest in the future, accumulating wealth over decades and then retiring. The destination for this path is usually an ordinary life. 3. Fast lane. The author advocates this path, taken mainly by entrepreneurs who control their destinies, work hard, and bring value to others instead of just themselves. These people have the potential to become wealthy in 5 to 10 years. Which path are you on? This book helps us learn how to change lanes, find accelerators for explosive wealth, escape financial mediocrity, and leave the 9-to-5 grind. More importantly, it shortens the time needed to acquire wealth. You should spend 2 days reading this book, which could provide more insights than 2 years of business school. So, how do you get rich? How do you quickly grasp the secrets to financial freedom? Next, I'll explain the book from 3 perspectives: understanding wealth, achieving financial freedom, and providing specific directional advice. To begin with, let's understand what it means to live a wealthy life. From a young age, we are indoctrinated with a traditional mindset: study hard, get high scores, find a job, save money, buy a pension plan, and live frugally. Then, when we are 65 years old, we can become wealthy. It is a slow lane to wealth. However, even if we follow these steps strictly, we may not become rich in old age, because the world changes too fast, and we can never predict what the future will bring. This slow lane lifestyle is not advisable. Through his own experience, the author warns us that if we want to change and put our ideas into practice, we can live the life we once envied. Why is the slow lane to wealth not advisable? Imagine working hard 5 days a week to enjoy 2 days of weekend fun. Then, after a 50-year career, you get 5 to 10 years of retirement. With this calculation, can you be content with staying in the slow lane and wasting time? More frighteningly, who can guarantee you will be healthy enough to enjoy the fruits of your labor after 50 years? For instance, a beautiful piece of clothing might look stunning at 20, but you can't afford it. When you can afford it at 40, it no longer fits. The author does not advocate for a hedonistic lifestyle, but makes us aware of the differences between the slow and fast lanes. This awareness helps us abandon the slow lane and decisively develop the fast lane. What is true wealth? The author believes true wealth consists of relationships, health, and freedom. It is easy to understand, especially the importance of freedom. For example, some high-paying jobs are so restrictive that people have no personal time to enjoy life. What's the point of making money, then? After all, we are not machines. Many people are eager to know how to transition to the fast lane to wealth. The author analyzed the different formulas for accumulating wealth in the slow lane and the fast lane. The author presents the slow lane wealth formula as follows. Wealth equals work, salary plus investment returns. Both factors are limited by time and uncontrollable. Work salary. Essentially, work is exchanging time for money. For example, with an annual salary, you work for a year to earn a year's pay. Time is naturally limited, everyone has only 24 hours a day and can work no more than 50 years in a lifetime. The time available for work is limited and relatively little overall. Moreover, work is uncontrollable. Issues like company layoffs, economic downturns, and stagnant wages make it even more problematic. Investment returns. Mainstream finance books often tout the magic of compound interest. They claim that $10,000 with a 15% annual return over 40 years becomes $2.5 million. However, they must tell you that sustaining high returns for 40 consecutive years is impossible. Additionally, after 40 years of inflation, how much is the money worth? Can you achieve 15% annual returns for 40 years? Warren Buffett's Berkshire Hathaway has had a compound annual growth rate of 19.4% over the past 50 years, which is a huge success, but there is only one Warren Buffett in the world. If an institution promises you a 15% annual return, be skeptical. The author argues that compound interest is unreliable because its key factors, time and annual returns, are limited or uncontrollable. In simple terms, wealth in the slow lane is neither accumulable nor controllable. An uncontrollable plan relies on hope. How to create fast lane wealth based on formula. The fast lane is a money-making system, whereas the slow lane is a job. The key to the fast lane is establishing a system that generates money for you rather than earning money by yourself through hard work. No matter how hard employees work, the probability of achieving the wealth they dream of is low. High salaries come with many additional costs. As a CEO, earning millions, let alone tens of millions, is extremely rare. Do you have the confidence or ability to stand out? Being your boss is different. You can make money while you sleep when you create a profitable business model. The focus here is on building a profit-generating model, not just being a small business owner who still needs to work around the clock. 1. Creating passive income. The fast lane wealth formula is: wealth equals net income plus asset value. Net income. Net income is easy to understand. For example, if you sell a product for a $20 profit and sell 10,000 units a year, your annual net income is $200,000. Unlike salaried income limited by time, sales and net income are unlimited and controllable. You can increase net income by reducing costs, creating better products, and increasing sales by expanding market influence and production capacity. These factors are not strictly limited. Asset value. Assets in the slow lane refer to consumables like cars, electronics, jewelry, and fashion items, which depreciate over time. In the fast lane, assets include appreciating reputation, brands, intellectual property, business models, and real estate. You can understand asset value as future value increases over time. If you earn $200,000 annually and your industry has excellent growth potential, selling your business could yield even more. Fastlane wealth accelerators involve creating or acquiring the right assets, adding value, controlling variables, and then selling. 2. From consumer to producer. It would help if you transformed from a consumer to a producer to move from the slow to the fast lane. Change your perspective. Instead of panning for gold, sell shovels. Instead of attending classes, teach them. Instead of borrowing money, lend it. As a producer, look at what consumers need. Consumers are the majority who need to be satisfied. Of course, wealthy people are not immune to consumption, but the sequence should be first to be a producer and then a consumer. Most people get this backward, focusing solely on consumption. Becoming a producer takes work. It would help if you were an entrepreneur, an innovator, or a visionary. Create a business that provides value to the world. While the slow lane focuses on jobs, the fast lane focuses on business. So, how do we build a successful business? We all know that starting a business and becoming a boss can lead to wealth. We've heard this principle many times. However, we often need help with doing it. How do we structure our business? How do we determine what kind of business can bring us wealth? The author offers 5 commandments to help us find the right direction. First, demand is king. The author points out a common misconception many of us have: doing what you love. However, if you follow your passions in business, you may succeed quickly. I recall a friend mentioning a clothing store he saw in a senior community with no nearby dance centers or anything similar. He wondered if the store would last a year. Unsurprisingly, it disappeared in a year and a half. The owner was following their heart and doing what they loved, but without prioritizing demand, everything was in vain. It is why 90% of businesses fail. Business should be centered on meeting demand, providing value, and solving problems. People only care about what your business can bring to them and what problems it can solve. Always look at things from the user's perspective, not your own. Money can only attract when you focus on others' needs rather than your own. It is known as giving before receiving. For example, Elon Musk, the CEO of Tesla, started companies like PayPal, Tesla, SolarCity, and SpaceX to solve problems or fulfill human visions. Initially, they weren't profitable and even burned money, but eventually, they succeeded tremendously. Many might think, isn't doing what I love essential? It is, but it should come second to others' needs. If what you love to do can solve others' needs and you're good at it, then you can pursue it. The clothing store example failed because it didn't need to meet the first criterion. Additionally, just doing what you love isn't reliable. Many people may love the same thing you do, leading to intense competition. For instance, if you love yoga and become a yoga instructor, it won't necessarily make you wealthy. There are many yoga instructors, and comments will be made to make sure they are limited if sufficient. So, what should we do? The author suggests that passion, not just hobbies, is reliable. You need to shift your source of motivation from hobbies to passion. Your goal might not be your hobby, but it must be something you're passionate about. Passion is driven by desire, meaning you need to ask yourself why. Why is it more significant than love? You'll do anything if you're passionate about your goal. For example, when the author wrote this book, the reason was to inspire others to achieve their dreams. Initially, writing was just a hobby, but more wasn't needed to sustain the effort. The thank you letters from people he helped motivated him to finish the book, turning a hobby into an enduring passion. The second commandment for a successful business is having entry barriers. Anyone can enter if the company has low entry barriers, leading to intense competition. You need to be the best to succeed. Examples include casinos, the stock market, and legal MLM schemes, which have low barriers to entry. Because of this, many people enter these markets, making it hard to stand out. If you're aiming for financial freedom on the fast track, you need more than just getting by, isn't? You need to excel. Indeed, wealthy people are the ones who create these businesses, not just participate in them. If the entry requirements are higher, you can expect the market to be open and the competition fierce. Good companies have higher entry barriers, which filter out most participants, allowing you to excel if you can overcome them. The third commandment is control. It would help if you had a business you could control to make big money on the fast track. It means being in the driver's seat, not the passenger seat. The former allows you to control your business and earn big money, the latter can only earn you small. Why is participating in a micro business not a good idea? Because product innovation, R&D, pricing, and market strategy are out of your control. You're a participant and a salesperson for the micro business owner. It isn't running a business, it's still being on the slow track, relying on a job to make a living. Of course, being a good salesperson can earn a lot of money, and many CEOs started in sales. But this isn't owning a business. The micro business owner runs a business, earning big money while you earn small. Some might say, I don't have the courage or intelligence to start my own business, it's too risky. I'd rather be a passenger and let someone else drive, earning a little money. The author believes that earning small money is no different from being on the slow track. Handing over control is quite risky. You have no say in your so-called business, any changes upstream could lead to your business failing without recourse. Are you running a business or just working a job? Don't get it wrong. Employees don't innovate, they sell, execute, and manage. At its core, entrepreneurship requires you to innovate, own your business, and invest in your brand rather than spending all your time working for others, which could be a better return on investment. So, the fourth commandment for building a successful business is scalability. This is easy to understand. The more people your business impacts, the more money you can make. In the Fastlane wealth formula mentioned earlier, the key to a Fastlane business is volume. It must have immense potential and rapid growth, ideally showing exponential growth. It depends on the market for your product or service. For instance, if you open a fast food restaurant, the area you can influence and serve is just one community. Selling a few hundred fast food meals daily is the best you can do. How much net profit can you earn from that? The ceiling effect is pronounced. However, if you open a chain of fast food restaurants and expand them across China, selling millions of meals a day, the leverage effect comes into play, and the profits can increase rapidly. The final commandment, and the most crucial one, is detachment. In simpler terms, this means running a business that allows you to make money passively. Work involves trading time for money, and business is the same. If a company requires you to be constantly involved and you can't step away, it's just a job, not a good business, because it can't generate passive income. Once you stop investing time, the income stops. The goal of the fast lane is to separate your income from your time, allowing you the freedom to do what you love. Would you prefer working 10 hours a week to earn $10,000 or 70 hours a week to earn $20,000? Most people would choose the former.